Hey everyone! In today's video, I'm doing a little driveway makeover. I'm going to give it a really good cleaning, take care of some of the cracks, and then seal the whole thing. Let's see how it turns out. Before we start, let me show you how the driveway actually looks like. It's not small, but it's not big. Let's do it. Let me give you a little bit of background on this driveway. This is actually how it looked when we bought the house. The previous owner had added another layer of asphalt, probably just to sell the house, but unfortunately there wasn't really a proper base or support underneath this. So over time it started cracking and deteriorating. At this point, I know the proper solution is eventually going to be to remove everything, rebuild the base properly, and put down new asphalt, but I'm hoping I can get another 2 or 3 years out of it before we have to do all of that. So for now, I'm going to do what I can to clean it up, repair the cracks, and seal it to hopefully get a little more life out of it. And before I start pressure washing, I need to get all the loose dirt and debris out of the way. So first I'm going to clean out the garage and blow everything off the driveway. This is how dirty I am. Now I'm going to wash the whole driveway. And then we are going to fill in the cracks. Now that everything is blown off, I'm going to get the pressure washer set up and ready to go. First, I need to turn off the water, disconnect the hose, and get the pressure washer attached. Then I have to move a few more things out of the way because, as usual, there's always more stuff around the garage than you realize. Not going to show you every little step because there's really nothing exciting about watching me move things around for the next 20 minutes. This actually took me a couple of hours to get everything cleared out and ready. But once everything was finally out of the way, I could actually get started on the part I was looking forward to, seeing what this driveway looks like underneath all that dirt. So let's get pressure washer going and see what we are working with. Let's go, guys! I decided to take advantage of the time while Zlatko wasn't home and do as much of this as I could on my own. I actually have some pain in my hand and fingers for a long time, so some of this was a little harder than I expected, so I also had a pretty hard time bringing the big container of sealer home. So I had to wait for Zlatko to help me with that part, though I managed to bring the containers home. So the cleaning I could definitely do myself, and I wanted to get the driveway really thoroughly washed before moving on to the next step. And you can already see a big difference once all the dirt and loose material was washed away. You can really see what these cracks actually look like. This is why I think cleaning the driveway really well before filling the cracks and sealing is so important. You'll want to get all that dirt and debris out of the cracks first, rather than just covering everything up with a sealer. Well, it was a long day. So, and of course, I managed to cut myself. Don't ask me how. It's not that bad. It's just a small cut. So I finished. Oh, I'm so tired. I finished cleaning the driveway. I washed it. Tomorrow I'm going to fill in those cracks, and I'm going to be in a position pretty much to start sealing. Okay. Yeah, this is one of those awkward moments when I don't know what to say. Let's move to the next slide, please. After all that work, I decided to call it a day. I gave myself a proper wash because I was absolutely covered in dirt. And then I spent the evening relaxing in the garden with Abba, just to give myself some rest before getting back to the driveway job the next day. Today I am finally going to apply or to fill in the cracks in the driveway's asphalt. We've had a couple of days of rains and these fires coming from all the way from Canada, so I wasn't really outside. My plan, based on the weather conditions, is to fill in cracks today, finish it, and then in maybe 48 hours to start applying the sealer. Let's go. So for the smaller cracks, I'm going to use a tube, and I'm going to cut it just a little bit. And I'm going to cut it a little bit wider, and let's do some work. For the bigger cracks, I switched to this larger bottle. It was definitely harder on my hand because I had to squeeze it more, but honestly, it made the job much faster. Since I had so many cracks to fill, I realized that using the right tool for the size of the cracks makes a huge difference. I used the larger bottle for the bigger gaps and the smaller applicator where I needed more precision. Although, altogether, it took me about 5 hours to properly fill everything. It was a long and tiring process, but I learned that taking the time to do each crack properly, I think is going to be really important in the end if I want the sealer to last and the driveway to look finished. When Zlatko finally came home after being away, we could finally start sealing the driveway. We used an asphalt grade sealer that was designed specifically for this type of surface, and honestly this part was much easier compared with all the preparation I had done before. I definitely underestimated how much sealer we would need. I originally thought I had calculated everything correctly yet, but we ended up using 6 containers to cover the entire driveway properly. Zlatko helped me finish the job, and together it took us about an hour to apply everything. The actual sealing was probably the easiest part of the whole process. We just had to work carefully and make sure we didn't get the sealer onto the stones along the edges or onto the driveway curb. Once we got into the rhythm, it went pretty quickly, and after all those hours of flushing, cleaning, and filling cracks, seeing the entire driveway covered and looking fresh was honestly so satisfying. So here's the final result. It's not bad at all. I think it probably needs one more coat, but because it's going to rain tomorrow, we don't have enough time to do it. But we can do that before the winter. Well, I definitely earned some hammock time after all of that. If you made it this far, thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. And now enjoy some extra footage to hopefully make you laugh.